It is the end of May. It's the 29th. Yesterday was the 28th. While I was we're winding up. No, we're still in the middle of birthday season around here at the Hogan house. Yesterday was my darling wife's birthday. We had a pretty fun time. Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. Actually, I wasn't late. Had a nice card, little torte for breakfast. Fruit things, and maybe that's not what it's called. I don't know. Well, anyway, let's see. I guess I'm going to give you the rundown of what happened this week. I might end up talking about thumb picks because, nope, I'm going to talk about thumb picks first. Notice I was playing the Hey Hey there, and this week we had a fly on the wall lesson with Ed working on it. And to really get that muffled sound, you got to play with the thumb pick. You just can't do it enough with the side of your thumb because you can't use your nail. At least I can't. I haven't figured out a way to be muting the bass notes back here and then get an angle in there that I can get the nail on. So if you want to get really that Big Bill Broonzy sound, you really have to work on playing with the thumb pick. You got to find one that's comfortable. Larry was here the other day, and he wasn't too comfortable with the thumb pick. And I had him try on like about 5 or 6, and I've got 5 or 6 around here. I only have 2 that I like. The other ones I keep in a box for other people. But you really have to find one that's comfortable. So that was our deal with the thumb pick. Because you get kind of a cool, really percussive sound with it. You can even get that snare sound and be hammering on notes at the same time. This was the song that Larry was working on, but we decided it was a little too complicated for now. We'll pass on that one for now. But anyway, let's see. What were... Little finches having a fight outside there. Oh, we had one? No, it wasn't a finch. It was that little bird that flew in here last week. I think I told you about that last week. The chestnut-backed chickadee. But right now the finches are arguing. What was I playing? fun lesson to do. That, of course, the lesson didn't have anything to do with that. I don't know why. You know, sometimes these strings are really bugging me, and I swore for the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've been grabbing the guitar and saying, God, it just sounds like crap. I should change them. I'm going to do it right now. Hope this doesn't bother you. I can tell you what's going on this week and change strings at the same time. Just had all this stuff handy here because it's driving me nuts. Well, anyway, what was the rest of the stuff that happened? I guess I'll even talk through a little bit about how I change strings. I grabbed this handy-dandy tool. I think this came from D'Addario. It's a winder, a puller for the pins, and clippers. Multi-tool. Whoa. And first thing I do is loosen them all, just enough to be able to get the pins out. Then I take the pins out and try to keep them in the same order, because actually on this guitar, each pin is marked with which string it's designed for. So then they come out and they get laid in some sort of order. Then you get them out of here. And wind this up. I hope I have everything I need handy. Oh, I have this little piece of paper here too. I gotta tell you about this. Nope, never mind, it's on the floor now. Because I took this over to Ed's last week and need some work done on the nut. One of the grooves has gotten cut a little too deep. And the high E string, this is a good way to puncture yourself. You gotta watch out, dangerous on those first 2 strings. Kind of unwrap. Okay, and now this goes in the garbage or the recycling for later. If I had a cloth handy, which I don't, I would wipe things down. But in the meantime, I'm going to break into this set of strings, maybe. They make these harder and harder to. EJ17. Recycling bin over there. Let's see here. And then I put them all in this end first. So, it's always good to, you know what? You should hang on to this thing to consult. These strings come color-coded, and if you put the wrong string in the wrong, well, I guess you would think of it as the wrong string in the right. So the gold one is the 6th. This came up, this care and feeding thing that Victor brought up. A great thing, because a lot of people don't realize, probably can't see this because it's just off camera, but that, you know, the bead does not sit at the bottom of the pin. If it does, it pops out. It sits about there under a little ledge. So I put this in about 2 inches or so, lightly hold the pin, and then kind of make sure it's seated. Then we take the 5th string, do the same thing. Okay, the next 2 are purple, are green and black. And just to be sure, consult. Black is the D. Oops, find the black end. Now, there's an easy way to tell which one's thicker too. If while you have it coiled up, you kind of squeeze it, you can tell. Oop, bad. That was getting really boring, so I decided to just go ahead and finish it and cut that out. Maybe another day. But it's a few minutes later now, and I'm much happier. Couple weeks, I just have been uninspired to play. Well, not a couple weeks, but maybe last week, and that was the problem. Michelle, I love your thread, by the way. This song makes me think of one that I would play just about every time I pick up the guitar, but coming up with one song that I don't know. That was a little out there. But appreciate everybody's the comments from Karina, Willem, Vanessa, and Pierre. Okay, you've heard me mess with that before, but song near and dear to my heart. I've probably mentioned, never mind. I'm sure I told you about how that was used in our wedding. Big anniversary coming up. Hope to make a trip out of it, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen yet. So, and that will be wrapping up birthday season around here. Still have, like I mentioned earlier, Rebecca. Still one coming up in a couple weeks. Okay, what was I really supposed to tell you about this week? Let's see. We had Hey Hey, the Fly on the Wall, this, and I hope people got the little puzzle about transposing that and figuring out how to play it in a different place, thinking in A minor. I think Dermot or somebody mentioned that it's been a while since we've had capo tests. What else? Vanessa's lesson, Mary Chapin Carpenter. That was a cool one, kind of from out of nowhere. This shirt. How's this shirt? Okay. Let's see, there was one more thing I had to tell you about. That was the songs. We had a new 5-pack come out of J.J. Cale tunes, and now, like I mentioned last week, people have asked about some of the theory packages. I think Guitar Geography and the Guide to Reading Music have not been made available as like standalone packages, and we're working on that. So because I've had a few people ask that are not Target members that just want to have one of those, and so news on that. A little news on camp. The question that about Max, and I don't know that I would haul up, especially most people are flying, and bringing along an extra guitar and an amp and things like that. I mean, we might have a couple little amps available, but I'm sure we will. Like I got a small one that I could have up there. If it's easy and you want to bring an electric guitar, you're welcome to. We might just have one or two stashed up there anyway that people could use. So, but I know traveling with one guitar is frequently enough of a difficult thing. So, let's see. What else did I want to talk about? That was about it. Like the thread. The care and feeding thing was really cool, and that's partly what inspired me to make a bad decision and try to change strings while I was trying to run through news stuff. But boy, now, love it. Just rings. Man, it was like playing on rubber bands for the last few weeks. A lesson on this. Anybody want to learn it? At least work on it? See if I can remember it. Listen to an E minor note. Then a sus2. Oh, I gotta talk about chords. Good question about the boots of Spanish leather thing. Sloppy. Let's cut to the quick. The ending is really cool on this. The nails are out of shape too. And then the Scheherazade chord. And, oh, we already talked about this chord. What a weird thing. Oh, then we need a minor 6 probably, huh? Am I going to get that F sharp in there? Is that going to work? Alright. Oh, I did want to mention, somebody brought up this chord in Boots of Spanish Leather, and we also hear something similar. We hear it as a D chord played in stuff like Sugar Mountain, but we hear D in the bass. This is like our C chord slid up a whole step, but in the case of Sugar Mountain, we play the whole C shape, and we end up with notes out of a D chord along with an E and a G. So we could go with, since it has a third, we could call it add 9, add 11, I guess. The E being the add 9 and the G being an add 11. But if we don't have the D in there, if we keep the E in the bass, it really sounds more like an E minor chord. Oh, and we've heard that in Lee Shore. And in Boots of Spanish Leather, of course, we have an E, a G, no B, but that would be the 5th, no big deal. D, making it a 7th, and F sharp, making it a 9th. So yes, E minor 9 would be a great name for that chord. String problem. There we go, got to play it. Oh, so I will tell you a little bit more about something I do when I change the strings. And then I'm going to get out of here for today. Yank on them a little bit to kind of pre-stretch them. So when I put them on, I get them just close to tune. You just ballpark it because they're going to be terrible. And then I cut off the ends, and then I yank on them each a little bit. Then I grab my handy dandy lock-on tuner. Although I always try to find A. By ear. Let's see how close that was. Hair flat. Anyway. There we go. All right. I think that's it for today. Let me see. Let me check my list. Talked about the songs, talked about the electric, the threads, the care and feeding thread. Oh, that one does talk a little bit about some other things that are kind of a concern. Not too bad here in Northern California, but humidity is really bad for your guitar, or lack of humidity, or quick changes in humidity. So the thing that Martin said about it is, like, don't hang your guitar on an outside wall, especially if you're in a cold climate or something like that. The back and the front will be at different temperatures. So I hope everybody does read that article, because it even talks about traveling and some things like that. Let's see, what's coming up next week? It will be June, and I don't know. Can't think about June yet. Thinking about May. All right, I will see you next week.